Welcome to Apogee Live. My name is Greg Hoffman, and we are back with another merchant. Today, we're going to be talking with Jerry Lynn Becker from the California Wine Club. Hello, Jerry. How are you?
Good. How are you, Greg?
Doing great. So we did this 2 years ago in March. We didn't do it last year, but here we are again. And so Apogee Live, just as a reminder to everyone that is watching us on Facebook, this is a chance for the Apogee team to introduce a merchant, let them meet them, see their face, listen to the voice, know that there's a human behind the brand. Jerry joined just a couple years ago. We had a great group back then. This time the format is a little bit different. We're doing it in Facebook Live. And so we have an Apogee affiliate group with about 800 affiliates that are able to watch this live, and then we're recording it, and then we'll be on our YouTube channel tomorrow. So let's get started. Our team is, the Apogee team is in the Facebook group, so if any affiliates have questions, you could just ask in there. And I want to make sure that we are live and everybody can see us. Yeah, okay, we're good. Is it? I'm asking. Okay. Well, hopefully everything, oh, I see what it is. We didn't update the description, and I don't know why it did. It says that I'm interviewing someone else. So I
can be
apologize.
someone else.
I will fix that and we'll get that fixed. Anyway. So, Jerry, how are you?
Very, very good. On a May gray day.
Is it in California? It's gray?
Coastal Central California, May and June are typically really gray and icky. The fog comes in from the ocean and it just hangs around all day. So it's been misty and gray and just kind of ugly. Yeah.
Okay. Well, so tell us the history of you at the California Wine Club.
Me personally here?
Yes, you.
So not the history of the California Wine Club.
You first, then the company.
Okay. So I started with the California Wine Club as a temp in October of 1998. 1998? No, 99. Somewhere around there. And my fiance and I had just moved to the Ventura area. I had a background in marketing and business, and there was something about the California Wine Club that attracted me to it. I really, to this day, can't pinpoint exactly what it was. I had a little bit of wine experience. Of course, I loved wine, and for whatever reason, just really wanted to be here, really wanted to work here. And there wasn't a position for me for my skills, but it was nearing the holiday time, and the sales manager said, well, you know, if you want, you can be a temp. And I said, great, I'll take it. And I had a literal small desk with a book that was on my lap. That was how much room I had. And I just, from day one, I think I had about an hour of training. And then I said, okay, I got this. You guys can let me go. I got this. And I just fell in love with it. I fell in love with the concept of supporting small family wineries, loved talking about wine with the customers who also were really committed to supporting that part of wine country, and just talking about wine all day. So that was a temporary job that started for me. And from there, I just kind of moved up. I kind of kept worming my way into different assignments and different jobs, and eventually branched out into marketing and was juggling being on the phone with customers with the marketing. And then the marketing just became too big, and I moved full on into marketing. And then 2007, I was promoted to the director of operations. Bruce and Pam Boring, who founded the club, were ready to kind of pull back a little bit and start to retire and take things a little bit slower. So 2007, I became the director of operations. And then in 2013, Bruce and Pam said, boy, you know, now we're really ready to completely unplug, and we want to basically retire completely on the shores of Florida. And that was an opportunity for me to step in and really take over the club as my own, which was sort of odd at the time because it felt like it was already my own. I'd been running it for a while. So back in the beginning of 2014, it was officially became mine. And then just the rest is, I guess, history, as they say. Now I still love talking to customers and members on the phone. It's my favorite thing. And getting out in the wine country and visiting the wineries and meeting the families and tasting the wines, it's just all, I really have to pinch myself because it's a dream. It's wonderful. Great company.
So we started working with you just before you took over. So we started in June of 2013.
Yes. Wow. That long ago. I remember that.
So what has changed with the company since then?
Well, gosh, the whole industry has changed. The marketplace has changed. I mean, there was always a few wine clubs in the space, and everyone kind of had their own niche. But after the financial crisis of '08, the competition really heated up. And now we were seeing not necessarily people entering the wine club space who were passionate about wine and wanted to share their discoveries with people, but we saw at first a lot of publishers entering the space. So as the financial crisis was affecting print, especially magazines and newspapers, their ad revenue was dropping. They needed a way to fill in the gap. So that's when companies like the New York Times started a wine club, and Wall Street Journal and Food and Wine, and every possible magazine and newspaper you can think of decided to start a wine club. And the concept was brilliant, really, from a business standpoint. There was a third party that handled all of the they made the wine, they labeled the wine, and they took care of marketing the wine club. And it was a great way for these publications who lost so much in revenue to offer a wine club service. The downside to that is the wine quality wasn't quite, it wasn't as good as some other options were. So people were being introduced on a grand scale to the concept of wine clubs, which is wonderful, but the wines they were getting weren't necessarily good quality wine. So it kind of turned people off. So it's been a huge up and down cycle of wine clubs coming and going over the last 10 years in industries that we never really saw before. And now we see this boom, I call it a tech boom of wine clubs, people who are really smart programmers, software developers, and they are designing wine clubs specifically around an idea, a concept, a palette. And so it's really, that's sort of the next chapter, I guess, of where wine clubs, at least those wine clubs, are going. There's still, a few like us who are just really out there looking for the small, real working wineries. We're not, we don't make our own wine. We don't label our own wine. All the wines we feature come from actual wineries. So it's still a unique model in terms of the bigger wine clubs that are coming on board nowadays.
Before we started working with you, we did have experience with another wine club. And one thing that I didn't like about working with that company, and I won't name them, was that they were very happy to share the fact that they bought their wine in bulk through big bladders, and they were delivered by the bladder off the truck. And they would sit there and create the wineries in Photoshop. And put the labels on the bottle and fill up the bottles, and they were selling their wine clubs that way. And I didn't like that model. So when we started talking to you, I realized that you actually do go to these small artisan wineries, and that's where you get your wine.
Yeah, the bulk wine industry is, it definitely fulfills a purpose. It fulfills a purpose for the winery who's made the wine, and for whatever reason, Mother Nature, who knows? It's an artistic product. The wine just didn't come out the way the winery was hoping, and the winery doesn't want to put their name on it, or maybe it was a bumper crop that year and they have lots of extra fruit. Rather than just dumping the wine out, they have an opportunity to sell it and recoup some of their costs. So there's a real benefit for wineries, big and small. When it comes to working within that market. But I think the key is educating consumers on exactly what it is they're getting. I mean, we're slowly working towards that way. even with a lot of the foods that we eat now, understanding where a factory farmed chicken breast comes from versus a small, organic chicken rancher. And so we learn the differences. We choose based on knowledge what it is we're going to eat or drink. So same thing with wine. I mean, there's a lot of really great, delicious, affordable bulk wines that come on the market, but what I don't necessarily agree with, which is to your point, Greg, is not being clear with the consumer on what exactly it is they're getting. It's in most cases just a made up brand with a label that looks pretty and catches your eye on the shelf. And there is so many really talented, hardworking artisans out there putting everything they've got on the line to make wine and share it with consumers, and they just make so little of it that they don't get distributed outside their area. So that's kind of where we step in. We really are here to help the wineries, and of course consumers get to benefit because they get wines that they'd normally only find if they went and visited the winery themselves. So yes, it's that's what we do that's different. Mm-hmm.
One thing that I like with your wine club is that the notes that come with the wine club is the story behind that actual winery. So your the print publication that you put out with the actual wine club that comes, that's top quality stuff. That is, you put a lot of work into that.
We do. We feature throughout the course of the year about 200 different wines over 5 wine club levels. And some members actually get wines every 3 weeks. Some members get wines, every 3 months. So there's a frequency and a number of bottles for everyone. But Uncorked, we do produce ourselves every single month. And it's always different. It always has the full story on the winery that we're featuring. I don't know if you can see that. There's tasting notes, there's recipes. Every club level has information on the wine. And what's great about this is all members each month get the same issue. So if you're a member of the international series, you're going to be able to read all about the wines that are in your shipment this month, but you can also read about all the other wines as well. So it really becomes an education and an adventure. Even if you don't drink the other wines that we're featuring that month, you get to learn about them. So thank you. It's a lot of work, but we love it.
So let's talk about the affiliate program real quick. I'm going to go over some of the statistics. We are paying affiliates a default commission of 15%. We do have VIP commissions for volume for the affiliates, the content-based affiliates that are sending us good new customers. Let's see, the tracking gap is 90 days. The program originally launched, let's see if I can find that. You originally launched the program early. I mean, I'm looking for it. And there it is. Joined June 13th, 2006.
Yes.
So you're coming up on 13 years on ShareASale.
I know. We're ancient.
That's a healthy program. And right now, today's date is May 14th, 2019. Your ShareASale power rank is 201. In the holidays, you're definitely in the top 100, and you can be in the top 20 right around Christmas time, because I think on Christmas, from Christmas till about mid-January, you are the top ranked wine club in ShareASale.
That's great. Well, that credit goes to you and your team, and I'm not saying that because you're sitting right there. But when we first launched with ShareASale, for us, it really felt like, this is easy money. This, it really felt hands off. We really didn't pay much attention to the program. We sort of provided ads and logos when needed and approved affiliates, and we weren't very active in it. And when you came along, I think that's when you really made me see that, wow, these are essentially the affiliates, especially, they're an extension of our team. They're an extension of our sales staff, and we need to do whatever we can to support them and help generate new content for them, help send new visitors our way, and ultimately generate sales and make money for everyone. So that, the power ranking and all that's wonderful, but all that credit goes to you and your team, and really showing us that there's so much more that we can be doing, and it shouldn't be a hands-off program. We should be involved. So thank you.
and you have been involved. And I always talk with new merchants. I use you as an example, and Rick from Snake River Farms. The two of you are very interactive with our team and actively engaged with affiliates. So that matters. That helps the affiliate program grow. And things like this help the affiliates see that there's a human behind the brand. So let's talk about, we've got a couple questions from affiliates already in the group, but let's tell us about the clubs that you offer.
So we've got 5 different club levels. The Premier Series is the original. It's the most popular club level. It's also the most affordable. All small mom and pop wineries. Typically every month we feature 1 red wine and 1 white wine. Along with the wines, of course, you have Uncorked, and that goes out to our members every month, other month, or quarterly, whatever members want. They can choose 1 of each, a red and a white, 2 reds, 2 whites. So we try to make it as flexible as possible. The great thing about the Premier Series is you're going to be introduced to varietals and wineries that you don't see in local stores. You're going to be trying wines that you wouldn't normally try on your own. If you're a wine drinker who's always reaching for that same bottle of Chardonnay at the grocery store, it might be time to mix it up a little bit and try that Viognier that you didn't think you'd like, or a Sauvignon Blanc that you said you'd never try. So that's really the adventure. And the Premier Series is at a price point that they can be your everyday drinking wines, and you don't have to feel guilty about drinking any of them. The Signature Series was the second club level that we launched, and that really is one of our upper level clubs. And that came specifically from members asking us, hey, when you're out and about looking for wines, if you ever come across any like super special library reserve wines, we want those. Let us know about those. So that's when we launched the Signature Series. Those are also limited production, even more limited production than the Premier Series. Generally red wines, although we do occasionally feature a white wine. We select 4 different wines a month. They're the ones that range in retail from, I'd say, $30 or $35 a bottle on up to $125 a bottle. So definitely a higher price point. They come with 90 plus points, gold medals. They're really the creme de la creme. They're special wines, and we really encourage those who are collectors or connoisseurs to try the Signature Series, or even those who value wine at that level, and having a special wine for dinner every night is just part of their life. Signature Series is perfect for those types of drinkers. We also have another upper level club called the Age Cabernet Series, and again, this is specifically collectors, connoisseurs. These are Napa Valley cabs that are already aged for you. I mean, this is such a luxury for us to be able to offer it, and I'm so grateful, because all of the wines that we buy as consumers in a store or even in a winery tasting room, those are what we call current vintages. They're newly made, newly released, and they're ready to drink now. And if you've ever flipped through a wine magazine and you read a review and it says, oh, age this one for 10 to 15 years, then drink it. It's like, first of all, who has the space to do that? Who has the patience to do that? But the beautiful thing is, especially with Napa cabs, the wines really do transform. And so we've done the aging for you. The winery's done the aging for you. So you get to have a 2007 Napa cab or 2010 Napa cab. Now it's aged, it's ready to drink. You don't have to have a cellar or wine cellar. So that's really special. And that averages about $240 a month for 2 bottles. So definitely at the high end of wines. We also have an international selections club that features small mom and pop wineries from all over the world. Again, 2 bottles of wine. In fact, we just had a mother and son team visit us from Italy yesterday. Loris and Ornella Malone from a little winery in Italy we featured. Actually, members are just starting to get it now. So they're in town from Italy and they stopped in to visit. So that was wonderful that they came by. I had met Loris previously, but not his mother. So it was great that they were there. That averages about $75, $85 a month. And then we have a Pacific Northwest series, which is all small mom and pop wines from Washington and Oregon. Again, 2 bottles, and that averages about $85 a month. So is that 5? Did I cover 5? Yes. So like 5 club levels. Yeah.
All right, let's do a giveaway. So yesterday we agreed to give away some wine samples to people that are actually in the Facebook Live right now. What did we agree? It was the Premier Series?
So we've got a sample shipment from our Premier Series, which again is the most popular club level. We've got 2 wines from Rabbit Ridge, which is a little winery in Paso Robles. Actually, the great thing about that story is Eric Russell's been making wine 30, 40 years, a long time. And this is the 2nd generation coming up. So we have a Rabbit Ridge red wine, and then the white wine is from the 2nd generation. It's Serrano Liquid Luck. Both of them are Rhone style blends and been really popular and delicious. So we're happy to share those with some Facebook Live folks.
All right, so anybody that is in the live right now while we were actually live and not just watching on YouTube, comment and talk to Kristen. Make sure you give her your email. You talk to her by email. She will get your shipping information, and we will send that out to you. If you are interested in joining the affiliate program, there should be a link, or there will be a link in this. We'll also have this on YouTube. If you want a sample and you're seeing this on YouTube, talk to us and we will try to figure something else out. All right, let's see. I've got some questions, so let's go to the questions first. Some of these came in earlier, and I know Karen from your team is in the Facebook Live. She's answered some of these questions, but I want to put them out here so they're on the video.
Okay.
And now I just got to figure out where it is. The first question, it's from an affiliate named Jessica. I don't know if I know Jessica. She might be a good content affiliate someday. Jessica,
a lot of work to do, but
Jessica wants to know what is the bestseller for Father's Day.
Oh, Father's Day next to Christmas, I would say Father's Day is the most popular gift giving time of year. It feels like a little bit of a mini holiday season around here for us during Father's Day. Dads, they're just kind of hard to buy for anyway. But this Father's Day, we've got a great Father's Day package going out that includes a barbecue apron. And had I known that question was coming, I would have had it here for you. Barbecue apron, some special barbecue rub that Karen and I found up in Lodi when we were visiting a winery. We did a barbecue sauce and barbecue rub tasting that was out of this world. So we've got that coming. That's actually part of our Gift Plus package, which is a pretty box that goes out in the mail to Dad or to you before Father's Day, and then the wine arrives later because Father's Day is on a Sunday. Most deliveries aren't made on Sunday. The great thing about the Gift Plus is that's in the mail it to you, you hide it, and then on Father's Day you give that to Dad, and it's got the gift card, it's got the apron, and he knows wine is coming, and that's definitely the most popular thing right now, for sure.
So Father's Day is more popular than Mother's Day?
Yes.
I'm
crazy. Yes.
Interesting.
I think, well, Mother's Day, you get flowers, you get perfume. Women are just so much easier to buy for, I think. But dads are a little bit harder. How many Captain America shields can you give your dad, right?
True. There's always room for more behind me.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so the next question was from Ken, and Ken wanted to know, what did Ken wanted to know? Where was it? I think Ken wanted to know about kosher wines. Do you ever sell kosher wines?
We've featured a kosher winery. There's a kosher winery in our county, in Ventura County, in Oxnard. And oh my gosh, I'm looking over, the name is escaping me. We have featured one that I can recall. It's not a big market for kosher wine, at least among our members and our customers. I know that when we first featured the winery, Herzog Winery, thank you, we were very excited. We couldn't wait to share it. And it just wasn't as exciting as we hoped it would be amongst our members.
Okay. All right. Next question is from Lindsay Moscato Mom. That's her blog.
I like her name.
Let's see. What is? Do you carry super sweet wines?
Super sweet wines we generally don't carry. Again, this goes back to our member profile and what members tell us that they want to drink. Occasionally we will get, I think Moscato is in your name. Occasionally we'll feature a Moscato or a Pinot Grigio. That's probably about as light as we would go with white wines. We've done a couple dessert wines in the past, just sort of for fun during the holidays. But again, that's another category where it's not as popular as I think it's going to be. And when I go to wineries and I'm in tasting rooms and I'm watching what people are drinking, those first few whites that they serve you, they tend to be on the sweeter side or the lighter side. And I see so many people buying those wines. They like them. But I think it has to do with the environment that you're in, because we've just not ever had a big demand for sweet wine. I think, oh, this one's gonna, people are gonna love it, and then people don't end up loving it. So just shy away from those generally.
So I did see one other question that just popped up, and that was about vegan wines.
So, wow. So vegan wines are much harder to come by, along with organic wines too are a little bit harder to come by. And for us, especially because we are dealing with we're dealing with small farmers, and if their entire livelihood is based on this one crop of grapes growing perfectly, they're all sustainably farmed. They all do everything they can to practice sustainable farming, but there's not a lot of vegan and organic wines, at least produced at the small level, that are out there. We've got one now. We have a Retzlaff Merlot that we featured recently that we're still selling. It's from Livermore Valley. That's organic. That's, I think, the only organic wine that I can think of right now that's in inventory. We just don't come across as many as you think you would, given the movement towards veganism and having things organic. But in wine, it's not quite as big of a movement yet because there's so much sustainable farming going on.
Okay. Just to let the affiliates know that are watching this, we will have the Father's Day deal in ShareASale sometime in the next week or so. We just learned about it a few minutes ago, so that link doesn't exist, but we will have that out there for you. Let's see. Okay, so an affiliate just asked if you partner with wine experts for Uncorked, or is that totally internal?
Yes and no. So the real experts are the winemakers. I mean, that's really who the experts are. So much of what we have learned ourselves has just come from them and the thousands and thousands of interviews that we've done over the years and winemakers that we have visited with. But we also will definitely partner with sommeliers, professional chefs, authors, experts in the wine industry. So it's a collaboration, but definitely we consider the winemakers to be our experts, because it's really their story they're telling. It's them that we want to shine the light on. So they're usually our first go-to for questions that we may be stumped with.
Got it. Okay. Is there anything else you need to tell affiliates, or anything you want to talk about?
Yeah. No, I think I just really want to drive home a point I made earlier, which is that we are here to support the affiliates, and no question is out of line, no request is out of line. Whatever it is that you need from us, we're going to do whatever we can to help you. And in terms of content, if you've never been to the blog on our website, there is oodles and oodles of content, and we're always happy to share that with you, send photos with you, anything we can do basically to help you bring customers to your site and ultimately then purchase from us. That's what we're here to do. So just cannot express that enough. So please let us know what we can do to help.
Okay. One thing from Liz on my team, she wants to know about amazing customer service policies that you have. Talk about your customer service.
So that, I would say, definitely is that's a real personal hot button issue for me. It sounds corny, but our customers really are not just customers. They're family. and we feel a bond with our members all over the country. We're there for, you know, graduations and weddings and births and retirements and new homes and even death. And I'm going to get all misty, but we get our customers, our family send us gifts, which always just blows my mind. The letters and the emails and the gifts that we get, really sincere, heartfelt, gracious, just love. What Karen calls them chocolate kisses, chocolate hugs, something like that. But it really feels good to know that we're not just making a difference with the wineries that we help, but that customers really get it. They really understand what we're doing. And there is nothing we won't do to make a customer happy. We have a love it guarantee, which of course means that any wine that a customer member gets that they're not happy with, we'll replace it, no problem. But I think wine clubs or any kind of continuity, you know, membership kind of gets a bad rap, like, oh, it's going to be hard to cancel, there's going to be extra fees, and we couldn't make it any easier. Email, phone, chat. If you're done, then you're done. I mean, we don't hold people hostage, and we never, ever, ever, even when someone is canceling, we never let them go away unhappy. Even if someone's had a bad experience with a shipper or a broken package or a delayed shipment, it just, we all take that personally, and we do whatever we can to make sure that it's fixed and the customer is 100% happy. So I don't know if that really sums up our customer service.
It does.
In general, but we love our customers. They're like family.
You do. So let me talk to the affiliates real quick and give you some content ideas. And I've said this several times over the last couple of weeks. I am not a huge fan of unboxing videos. So if you are going to receive any free wine from the California Wine Club, or if you are going to buy through your own links, which is allowed, I don't want to just see an unboxing video. I want to see you enjoying the wine. I want to see you talking about the wine and pouring it into a glass. I'd much rather see, this isn't an action shot, but I want to see you pouring the wine and enjoying it instead of just pulling it out of the box and showing the packaging. So if I have any tips for you about how to do this, it's definitely talk about the experience, talk about the flavors, talk about the differences that you see in the different wine clubs, and just be honest and transparent, obviously, about your affiliate links and the relationship. But Jerry, do you have any suggestions on how they could do this?
Well, I think that's great advice, and I would definitely add to that by, first of all, assuring all of the affiliates you do not have to be a wine expert, and you don't even have to share what you're smelling or tasting, because that can be really intimidating. A lot of really avid, active wine consumers, they probably couldn't tell you exactly what they liked about the wine. They can just tell you that they'd like it, and I think that's important in terms of introducing people to the concept of a wine club. You don't have to be a wine expert. You don't have to be drinking, a bottle a night to qualify. This is really, if you're going to do what Greg says, which is open the wine and enjoy the wine, enjoy it as a normal everyday person would. And by that, I mean, have that Chardonnay with popcorn on Saturday night when you're watching a movie. Pour the red Zinfandel with pepperoni pizza on Friday night. I mean, this is, when we are reviewing wines, I call it homework. When we're doing homework at home, there are literally bottles and glasses lined up on the kitchen counter. And we don't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect meal. There's the dog is chasing the cat and the kid needs help with the homework and the fire alarm is going off. And it's a little bit chaotic, but that's real life. And that's the best way to evaluate a wine. It's not what you think, which is being surrounded by vineyards and having the winemaker pouring the wine for you. That's lovely and wonderful, but that's actually the hardest way to evaluate a wine, because you're influenced by all this grandeur and gorgeousness. So I think having people understand and recognize that wine is just something to make every day better. And if you're sharing that with your readers, with your viewers, that's what they're going to connect with. They're not going to connect with a fancy bottle opener and 7-course meal. And don't do that. Just keep it real and be yourself.
I would totally agree. And Anne said it right. We don't want unboxing. We want unbottling videos.
Yes. Yeah.
I like that. All right,
Mm-hmm.
Jerry, thank you very much for joining us again. It's been a couple years. We need to do this more often.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me. Every couple of years, I keep aging, so we do have to do it, more often, I guess.
We will let's try to do this again in Q4 and get everybody excited for the big season. But right now it's Father's Day season, so we need to get there and get the affiliates excited about Father's Day.
We're here to help.
All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate the time. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to our videos and watch other Apogee Lives. And we will be interviewing more merchants, more affiliate managers, more affiliates in this series in the future. So thank you very much for watching.